of the wings, 24-25. It will all come to an end.
47A off grid number 4. And of course, that is Zach Sokol. There we go to grid number 5, the 17C. And of course, that is Dylan Forsey. Grid number 6, the 46C. And of course, that is Max Guilford. And then we've got two 16s off the back. The first one on grid number 7 is 16T of Matthew Anderson. And on grid number 8 is the 16C of Kyle Clover. That is your Sprint Cars War of the Wings heat number 3. Before we head to the dash. And good to see Craig Piner, one of our SNZ Red Hats, wandering out to the infield. As we see the 17 car of Dylan Forsey, first year in the Sprint Cars full on. Did qualify for the New Zealand TQs last year. The TQ that he was racing is here. It's the 54 car of young Cohen Thompson, so a very quick machine. And good to see a good peddler in that one. What was funny was last weekend, Malachi Webb actually passed Cohen Thompson, but they had to go back to a restart, and Cohen was able to start in front of Malachi again, but Cohen Thompson busy congratulating his mate with the Malachi Webb t-shirt on. So just shows you it's quite a hard case out there. And of course Jeremy Webb picking up that title. Rightio, Sprint Cars back out on the track, and this has got some fast ones in it when you've got Max Guilford, Connor Rangi, Dylan Forsey. This should be an interesting one, the two 16s of Glover and Anderson. And off the front of the pack, the 18 former Street Stock GP champion of James Robertson. Stocks as well was at one stage, backing out of the box. There we go, good to see Tony Eulenberg. This is the famous Eulenberg colours, the green and the orange. And of course, a few family members, Blair and a couple of others. We've seen Blair here before because he's won the Stampede. Former 2NZ in the stock cars, all family related. And it's great to see these guys as they line up. Hydralink. Push car heading infield, the pace car. And about to get underway with this final heat of the day. Sprint cars at their best. Here at Milestone Homes, top of the South Speedway. Lights out. As they head down 2 and 3. The pace picking up. Racing 3 or 4 wide as they come out of Bixie's Hill. And it is Tony Eulenberg's got the lead, but watch out for the 46 machine. As he flies down the back straight, Max Guilford absolutely flies. They come past the first lap of 10. Eulenberg still holding second place. It is Jack Sokol out in the lead at the moment. 46 machine, not too far away. And sitting in the second place now, and he hunts down the cars. Watch for the 8 car of James Robertson, 57 of Connor Rangi, 17 of Dylan Forsey. Here we go back to the 216s of Glover and Anderson. But out in front, it is the 47A, Zach Sokol. New driver to the track. And certainly setting some good pace at 12.4 as he shoots around, watching for Connor Rangi to come through on the charge. Trying to get into that top 6 dash. He's up to 3rd place. And looking for Dylan Forsey, possibly to try and get past James Robertson. Tony Eulenberg still holding in the 3rd place as we see Guilford starting to close the gap on the 47A machine as they head around. And Max Guilford used to run the 99M machine, racing out of Christchurch this year under the Ranch Bar and Grill machine, part of the John Myers racing team. James Robertson just holding back Dylan Forsey. Forsey gets the inside line, moves up a spot as our race leaders start to catch the back markers as Conarangi gets into third place, as Guildford hunts down the 47 machine. And the white flag out in a couple of laps as they start to get through the back markers. Rangi starting to fire up in the 57 machine, our series leader at the moment. Just trying to keep the car nursed as the back markers come through our leaders. And the white flag out, so just negotiates as Zach Sokol will come through. And we'll pick up the race win from the flying Max Guildford. Checking flag out. And the rest of the field come through. So nice, a quick, fast race for this heat number 3. Yeah, 3.1313 for Guildford on a flyer, but yeah, good jump start from the 47 machine as he got underway.
Well, it was a good clean race, Jody. It all happened pretty quickly, didn't it? It was kind of, we were into it, and then before you knew it, we were at the tail end of that race. But Zach Sokol, first time on the track, got to be loving it, making the most of that opportunity, picking up a checkered flag that time. But Conarangi, he's the one that we're watching as well, isn't he? He's got to really hold those points and do what he can. So coming up to third place there, he'll be pleased with that.
Yep, and of course the dash is next. So the top 6 points getters after these 3 rounds will go into a marble draw. They draw a marble out 1 to 6. And that'll be your starting positions after 6 laps. That'll be your starting positions for your top 6. The rest of them just on points following down from that. So Conarangi, that is the battle between him and Joe Myers Jr. What will Max Guildford do? He's the one that could spoil us if he gets in front of Rangi. We'll wait and see. 30 laps, as you said, this 10 laps was quick and fast. 30 laps. Should be one heck of a pace if we can get that done in one dash. They did it in Blenheim.
An amazing young guy. He is the crew chief on his car. He is the crew chief on Guildford's car. And he is the crew chief on Dylan. Amazing talent, and let's just sit back and enjoy watching him. But what's so good for the South Island sprint car fraternity is the fact that with Joel and Max being here, it really does bring everyone else's standards up. It gives them someone to chase, someone to aspire for, and you know, us mainlanders reap the rewards. I would not be surprised if Joel Myers repeats his New Zealand Sprint Car Championship victory up at Kiwi. It's just about green flag time, boys.
Yep, lights are out. Dan about to call this one. The 2 Ranch Bar and Grills cars off the front. Our series leader Conarangi sitting in 3 as they're about to let race 6 laps.
Righty, here we go, the dash is underway. Here we go, the battle's on. Max Guildford and Joel Myers Jr. Here we go, side by side down the straight, and it's Joel Myers Jr. who gets the jump on Max Guildford as they work their way through. Oh, yellows come on. So the referees have spotted something. I'm not too sure why the yellows have come on, AJ. Do you know why?
It may well be on the start.
Here we go, yep. The old white chalk line, you can't accelerate. I think the wheels have got to hit the line and then you can accelerate.
You're like the Warriors, sometimes it's a bit hard to find the right line.
Well, that was phenomenal as well, watching the 57 car of Conarangi down that back straight there. He was up on the back 2 wheels. He was doing the wheel stand. Listen, you know, they all want it. They're all hungry for it. Everybody wants that best starting position as they come down to the 30 laps tonight, because it matters. I mean, every race matters, but 30 laps here at Top of the South is going to matter more than most as they take home that big sash and the prize tonight.
Right, here we go. We'll try this one again. We'll let them come to the line, and we go racing. And this time it is Max Guildford who gets the jump as they work their way through. Most free wide going into 1 and 2. Down the back they go now. It's Max Guildford from Joel Myers Jr. Then we go back to Conarangi. Gus Dawson's in the back there, but it is Max Guildford from Joel Myers Jr. We go back to Conarangi, Zach Skoll, Dylan Forsey, Gus Dawson as they work their way down the back, but it is Max Guildford who's just blitzing the field at the moment as they work their way out of 3 and 4. We're on lap 2 of 6 already. So this is going to be a short, sharp race with 6 laps around Milestone Homes, Top of the South Speedway. As Max Guildford still leading from Joel Myers Jr. We go back to Conarangi in 3rd. We've got 3 laps left to run as they work their way through. Look at this, Max Guildford opening up a bit of a lead now on Joel Myers Jr. as they work their way through. Passes here at the tower, completes another lap. White flag will come out next time round for Max Guildford as they work their way through. And they go into 3 and 4 now. There's Max Guildford still leading this one as the white flag comes out. 1 to go for Max Guildford and Joel Myers Jr. So it looks like it's going to be a Ranch Bar and Grill front row lockout as they work their way through. Down of turns 3 and 4, and it will be Max Gilford who'll start off the front row alongside John Myers Jr. But more importantly, Connor Ringy will start in third with Zach Skoll, Dylan Forsey and Gus Dawson. How important is that going to be now going into that feature with Connor Ringy and Joel Myers Jr. battling for the series?
Yeah, actually, I don't think Myers will be terrifically upset about finishing in second. What that means is he'll be starting on the outside of the front row, and the action here that you get in sprint cars around the top of the South Speedway, you're into the lap traffic very, very quickly. It's the ultimate of sprint car bull rings, and you look at the lap times. The fastest lap in that one put in by Max Gilford at 12.126. Mate, you don't need egg timers to do a sprint car race.
That's quicker than the quick times at the start of the season for the time trials.
Yeah, of course, we'd better keep an eye on all those lap times tonight for the Miller's tractor spacings. But Max Gilford, an interesting...
Island, but you know, they've still got the New Zealand Midget title. I think the South Island or GP is back up here in Nelson. I mean, like one of the purest New Zealand Midget titles was actually here. You and Drever called it. I was stuck out on the infield, loving it. And mate, that has to be some of the best racing you've probably seen in 40 odd years of racing. That was one pure, absolute meeting.
Oh, absolutely. I've started commentary at Rjptv 26 seasons ago, and I still rate that New Zealand Midget Car Championship here at Nelson as one of the very, very best shows that I've had a small part to play in, because it was just so exciting from the get-go. And you know, I think tonight's High Drilling War of the Wings final is going to be equally exciting. Less cars, but look at it. You know, you've got Joel Myers. He has just shown tonight he is not giving up. Yep, mathematically it is a challenge, but Connor Rangi's a smart young cookie, and he knows he's just got to keep out of trouble, keep his nose clean, and keep Myers in touch. And I would say the roof will just about come off the club rooms tonight.
Well, I think Connor's certainly matured as a sprint car driver out of youth mini stocks. You know, he's been down in Christchurch, based himself down in Christchurch with the Duffs, and you know, now he's got some major sponsorship with Dalton's coming on board. They recognise the potential that Connor Rangi has. You know, he went up to North Island, did a few circuits up there. You know, it takes a lot of money to do the North Island stints up there, and of course, mate, if he's given a chance, I'm sure he'll bring back the goods, and that's what you need. And you get these guys that have come through over the last few years, Buddy Cofoid and likes of Joel Myers, and we had Brendan Crouch as well. You know, these guys just lift the level, and that's what you need in Speedway. It's much like Jeremy Webb, and like Jeremy Webb really didn't have it that easy this year in the New Zealand title, but he, over the last 10 or 12 years, has just built that level up, and people raise that level to come up, much like our loved Crusaders.
Yep.
You set that level, and when you can beat those guys, it just feels so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, folks, sit down and hold on, because what was it? You paid $25 for your seat. I guarantee you are only going to need the front 3 inches for the 30-lap High Drilling War of the Wings sprint car feature, brought to us by the Ranch Bar and Grill.
Rightio, so we will get them lined up for the 4 wide salute. Get your phones out, race fans. This is the part that really makes Speedway happen. It is the, we'll get them lined up, we'll get them in a 4 wide salute. So get your phones out, get your videos going. It's your chance, and a chance for the drivers to thank you for being here. Of course, they did last night in Blenheim, tonight in Nelson. As we get set for this, they're going to line them up in the 4 wide salute. So we're just going to get them ready to go. So this is the part. How good is it, Saint, to see sprint cars in a 4 wide salute?
Oh, look, it's something special. It was great last year. They do it everywhere they go, like you say, Dan, to show respect to those that have hosted them and had them here, and it's great to have them with us tonight. We've just heard from Jody and AJ. This is a class that is continuing to grow. Fantastic races. It's giving them opportunities to develop, and it's fantastic to have them with us here tonight. This 4 wide salute is going to be something you only see once a year, folks, so prepare yourselves and get ready for it, because it's something special that happens as part of the War of the Wings. It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's all get on our feet for the Herrick Creek Distillery 4-wide salute. It's feature time for today's Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint cars as we storm our way around the mainland. Going on with these guys to prepare yourself for next year. You can see them at warofthewingssprintcars.co.nz. Jump onto Facebook, War of the Wings Sprint Cars. Get on board and like their Facebook page so that you can see all of the highlights and prepare yourself for next season. Here they are. Put your hands together one more time for the drivers that have brought us the War of the Wings Sprint Car Series, sponsored by Hydrolink. They have got the green and it's pedal to the metal. Here we go, 30 laps, and they are absolutely rumbling as they roll around. The dust is flying, and so are those cars around the track as they zip around in front of the tower. That is lap 1 number done, with Joel Myers Jr. in the 1NZ already starting to stake his claim from the second place car of Max Guilford. It is the 46C, Connor Rangy, the local boy, in the 57C, sitting back there in third number place. That is how they've got themselves laid out, but it is the 17 car of Dylan Forsey in fourth. He's not letting it go unanswered as they continue to keep the pressure on. They've got themselves into a beautiful race order now as they start to work their way around. You can see the dust and the smoke flying off those wheels of the 75 car. That is Jack Burson, another local legend who's learning his way around this track, who's got the power underneath the bonnet and wants to make his way up as Joel Myers Jr. continues to show why he's got the 1NZ on the side of the car. He has got the power as he comes around in front of the tower again from Guilford. We've got Burson there off the pace as everything changes. The flash bulbs flash. Dan, it is all go out there in the maelstrom that is the tornado of this 30-lap feature.
Oh, it is, and look at this, Joel Myers Jr. already into the lap traffic, so this is going to change the race completely. Lap 6, and we're already into lap traffic as Joel Myers Jr. So how he navigates this is going to be interesting. Connor Rangy still in third. That's going to be good enough for him to win the series. But it's Joel Myers Jr. Look at him try and work his way through to lap traffic. This is going to help Max Guilford as well. Here we go. The battle's on now to lap traffic coming into play, Zane.
Yeah, well, you can see that Joel Myers Jr. and the number 1NZ is having to really look for those opportunities as the dust starts to fly. He's got the 8 car of James Robinson just sitting in front of him. He's had to go up high and wide, and that's given Guilford that opportunity in the 46 car. He's started to close the gap a wee bit, but now he's got to contend with that same number 8. We have still got the 57 car of Rangy back in third as he gets past some of the back markers. It looks like he's made it now past Anderson, and he's going to be looking for the opportunity to make up those precious seconds as everything starts to unfold now. We are a third of the way through with Joel Myers Jr. still in first place. Max Guilford hot on his heels looking for the opportunity just to close that gap as they zip around now down the back of Bixie's Hill. It is on that back straight that he gets around on the inside of the 75 of Jack Burson. Guilford still in second, Rangy in third, Dylan Forsey in the 17C car back in fourth place, just over Gus Dawson. Zach Sokol in 6th. Kyle Glover's in there in the 16C machine. That's how it rolls out at the moment as the laps start to count down and we get ourselves almost up to that midpoint of the race, Dan. It is still single file as they work their way around.
Oh, certainly the pace is blistering out there. 12.4. We got one spun up. That's Dylan Forsey. Spins it up, so here we go, yellow flags on, race changes, lap 14 of 30. We're not quite there yet, but boy, this is high octane racing, Jody.
Certainly is, yeah, young Dylan just overcooked it a little bit coming out of turn 1. Spun it up, looks towards the wall there, but I'm not sure. He's eyeing up the Hydrolink souvenir stand over that way, and hopefully he'll be able to push it to restart, but he will start behind the rest. This will close it right up as we look at Joe Miles Jr. leading this one at 12.57. Max Guilford sitting in 2nd, his quickest lap. Looking at 13.04. Connor Rangy sitting in 3rd. That's all he has to do. Dylan Forsey will drop back 4 or 5 places. That puts Gus Dawson up into 4th spot. There we go, back to the 47A of Zach Sokol. Kyle Glover having a great run. He'll be in 6th spot. Jack Burson in 7th. James Robinson will move up to 8th. Matthew Anderson moves to 9th. Tony Eulenberg will be in 10th spot. Car's still running, no problems there. As we just work out the grid order, looks like they're going to go from top points down. They're going to let the back markers fall into position. As Dylan Forsey gets here, he'll be gutted with that. Good young competitor, was here at the New Zealand TQs last year, qualified, had a bad first heat. But a great gun. 18 years old is he, young Dylan now? Yep, is 18 years old now.
I mean, it's a phenomenal opportunity, isn't it? Not just to be part of a series like this, but to be here on this track with 30 laps to run, to have the opportunity to continue to grow and develop. They are wonderful times of learning a little bit more of the craft of motor racing. So even though maybe the race hasn't panned out quite how we'd like at this point, it's still valuable experience for him as we get that reset. And it is the number 1 NZ of Joel Myers Jr. who manages to zip up to the front. But the big upset and change here at this stage is that Connor Rangy is sitting in 2nd over Max Guilford. That is going to be a huge shift for him just to have that space ahead. It's just now him and Joel Myers Jr. so he can continue to control where he wants to be. He is at the moment ahead on points, and this could make all the difference for him. But as we look back through the pack, we have got Gus Dawson in 4th place. Then we're going back one more. It looks like it's the 47 car there of Zach Sokol coming down from Auckland and having a great blast on the tour. Kyle Glover, Dylan Forsey, Jack Burson, James Robinson, Matthew Anderson and Tony Eulenberg. That's how it's going to continue to roll out around this track as Joel Myers Jr. is almost back up to the point of having caught those back markers. He's about a quarter of a lap down as he comes out of turns 2 and 3. He could be looking there at an opportunity to try and squeak past Daniel as something's changing in the middle of the track, mate.
Yeah, that's the 8T of James Robinson going off, but here goes Joel Myers Jr. back into the lap traffic. Connor Rangy sitting in 2nd. That was good enough for him to win the series at the moment as they work their way through, but he's getting chased hard by Max Guilford. Max Guilford not letting it go, but here he is. Look at this, Joel Myers Jr. trying to go around the outside of Anderson, gets the job done, puts a few cars between him and Connor Rangy. The pace is red hot out there, 12.5. We've got 10 to go, but Joel Myers Jr. and Connor Rangy is on his way to win the series.
Well, it is absolutely blistering out there. Notice at the top of turn number 2, we're just starting to get a little bit of a lump opening up. But boy, oh boy, they are absolutely flying as they whomp around this track. That is 21 laps down, only 8 to go before they see the podium finishes come out as Joel Myers Jr. continues to control this race. Connor Rangy in 2nd from Max Guilford in the 46C car. Gus Dawson in 4th place in the 9N over Jack Sokol. Then we come back to Kyle Glover and Dylan Forsey, who just fly in front of the tower.
Oh, here we go, battles on now. Max Guilford and Connor Rangy battling down a bit of lap traffic, just about undoing Connor Rangy and Guilford as they work their way through 23 of 24 on 30. So just under 6 to go for Joel Myers Jr., Connor Rangy and Max Guilford. Battle still on for 3rd though. Here we go, Zane.
Well, the battle is still on for 3rd and she's not over yet. We'd have to see something catastrophic in order for Connor Rangy not to pick up this win as we roll through 25 laps of 30. but at the moment he just has to hold that line. He's got to keep up there with Joel Myers Jr., who is all class through this race, but we're seeing skill right across the track as they hold up, and things start to change just in front of the tower now, Jody.
Yes, and we're just watching these leaders as they slowly push that cushion closer to the concrete wall as they come out of turn 4. They'll get right up towards that pit gate, just pushing that cushion higher as the laps count down. Only a couple to go.
What we're seeing there is them absolutely maximise on the power as they come out of turn 4. They do not want to button off, and so they are getting very, very close indeed. But that is the class that they've got with only 2 to run. We are waiting for that white flag. It isn't far away now for Joel Myers Jr. He has got the white flag with 1 lap to run on this 30-lap feature, the end of the Hydrolinks War of the Wings Sprint Car Series. He's got to be thrilled with that as he comes over in front of the tower. He's about to do it and pick up that checkered flag over Connor Rangi in second, who crosses just behind him. Max Guilford in third. Gus Dawson looks like he'll be through in 4th place. We've got Zach Sokol in 5th, Kyle Glover, Dylan Forsey, Jack Burson, Matthew Anderton, Tony Eulenberg still a couple of laps back, but boy oh boy, that has been something magic, AJ.
Yeah, what a race, folks. Put your hands together. Joel Myers wins the battle. The war has been won by Connor Rangi.
The Nelsonian, a 57N car, proudly sponsors out of Nelson, runs most of his racing down in Christchurch, Cromwell, Ellesmere. He'll be absolutely wrapped as Dylan Forsey passes up, but what a battle. Over 8 rounds decided here at Nelson in the final race. The 30 laps, Connor Rangi will be absolutely wrapped to get one up on the 1NZ champion. He regains the War of the Wings he won in 2021. And he'll just be quietly going around waiting to see whether he gets a few donuts in. Joel Myers, mate, that crucial DNA that did not start in Greymouth. Picked the wrong engine component that was broken and cost him the title.
Yeah, it was fatal to us both, but boy, what a show he put on in that feature race when they're running right up by the wall. Come on, Nelsonians, get up on your feet, make some noise for the local boy.
That was an absolute blistering race for him, and what a series he's had to manage to pick up those points. You've got to be proud of him, Nelson. Plenty of reasons to cheer and come and celebrate in the club rooms tonight. What a great night for the club and a great night for Connor Rangi. A great night for Hydrolink War of the Wings as he dances his way around the track in front of the Donut Shack.
One very happy camper. There's been a big battle, lost the front end at Greymouth, managed to make it back to the final, come from the back all the way up to 3rd at Greymouth. That was the charge. Went to Ruapuna, got his lead cut down a little bit, went to Blenheim, cut down to 10 points. Had to hold on for the night. War of the Wings 2024-25 champion, Connor Rangi.
Yeah, and you know, in the week leading up to Greymouth, I talked to him, did an article for the Grey Star, and I said to Connor, I said, you get sick and tired of watching the Dan Anderson racing guys, Max Guilford and Joel Myers, winning race after race? And he said, you know what? He said, they actually make me want to race harder. Here we go, it's the wing dance. He is the champion.
Give him a hand, folks. Connor Rangi, proudly sporting the end on the 57 machine, has absolutely done it. This will be one of his biggest moments in Speedway. He has won the junior mini stock title, doing duties today. And of course, Trinder's new workshop down there off from Exchange Road, Coburn Place. I see the boys all traipsing past our job site at the Meadows. That's where my truck's parked at the moment. Busy hauling clay out to the Motueka River, doing a bit of future proofing on the Motueka River, putting in about 900 truckloads of clay to the riverbank to stop any excess flooding. We can't have our favourite chip shop in Motueka being flooded out. So certainly busy over the next couple of weeks doing that. Up to Rotorua next week for stock car teams. And then I think down to Battle of the Stocks down in Christchurch before we have the PTS Stampede here. Mini Stock Mania. Stock cars and classics should be an absolutely magnificent one, of course, combined with the Rees Tour, which started some of the advertising. If you go onto reesracecars.co.nz, people are starting to put their entry forms in and commitments, bits and pieces for that. And I think they've got to pay up front for some, and I think they get halfway around and they get most of their money back. That's the way it goes. So that should be pretty huge. Looking forward to that one as our season has peaked with a New Zealand title. Good to see Hemingway picking up the 1NZ. Fantastic meeting down here in Nelson. Decided on the track, an epic final heat as we start to wind down to the 2024-25 season. All looking forward to next year because we have the New Zealand street stocks here, and the stock cars just a couple of years away. They're down in Christchurch next year. So plenty to happen still this year and looking forward in the future as well.
Gosh, I think the last time I commentated a New Zealand street stock title must have been in Blenheim. It must have been 20 odd years ago. We had bright orange t-shirts. They were fantastic. I don't know when I got rid of that at some point, but it was a great race meeting, and street stocks definitely plenty of good entertainment for us. Be fantastic to have the pits heaving with them. Those are my people. Be great to have them here all together in the beat up beasts ready to roll around the track.
Gee, I would have been a little kid probably listening to you, Zane, sitting in the crowd watching the old street stocks cause a lot of carnage.
No doubt, Dan, you would have had your Mr. Whippy running down your hands through your fingers there, and a hot dog in the other, no doubt, sauce and dirt, the whole kit and caboodle. Look, they're a great class and they're good entertainment, aren't they? I'm sure that the stands here will be absolutely packed. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not just street stocks that we're looking forward to. Right now, Dan, we've got stock cars to call.
Yeah, it's heat 2 of their club champs, about to get underway. Revs are building, lights are out of grid. We go green and we go racing, and it looks like Jack Rarity is going to lead them through as there's a bit of a pile. We're going to go 4-3 wide. Down the back they go now as they work their way through. One's going to the wall. Kyan Boniface gets a huge shot in the wall from the 67 of Max Baker. Just puts Kyan Boniface in the wall hard as they work their way through. So Max Baker starting to use the bumper as they go through.
Watch for the 48 car. He's got his helmet and he's looking in his mirrors. He's trying to line someone up.
Oh, we got one up the wall. Kyan Boniface has put Toby Walker in the wall. Here we go. Watch the 48. Let's see, waiting for someone. Here we go. Troy Cleveland going to give him the push out the way. Waiting to see who Matt Rollo's going to pick up.
Kahu Whalen in the 48 machine.
Look, Toby Walker's now just starting to trawl a little bit as well, so we're only one in. We're in the second heat, but it's already starting to see where things are lining up, Dan. It's going to be hotly contested.
Yeah, it certainly is, as we've seen Baker starting to put the bumper in. Here we go, Walker going to put the bumper on the 48 of Whalen. So here we go, action aplenty as they work their way through, just lets them run. As they work their way through this, Jack Rarity from Troy Cleveland. Then we go back to Ben Smith, Wade Sweeting. Here we go, Whalen's still slowing, so she's still waiting for who her target is.
Well, you've got to wonder as well here. Look, you've got Ben Smith, a Nelson car, former 1NZ, sitting right in between two Christchurch drivers, of course currently club members, but everything could change. Do the locals want them to have a sniff?
So here we go. Watch out here we go. Troy Cleveland's going to get on the back of Whalen, going to give him a push. Here we go. That's who she was after. That's what we were waiting for. Waiting for Cleveland to come and just say, thank you, I'm going to try and take you. As they work their way through now, Jack Rarity still in the lead. Kahu Whalen trying to get fired up again. But in the lead it is Jack Rarity from Ben Smith, Wade Sweeting. We go back to Troy Cleveland, who's dropped down the heap to 6. So here we go, Whalen's rejoined again. What's going to happen here, Zane?
Well, look, we keep on seeing that mischief happening, don't we? But it's still Jack Rarity at the moment, who is in first place from Ben Smith. Then we've got Wade Sweeting sitting back there in third place. Max Baker in fourth. Harlan Brunt, Kerry Walker, Melissa Gifford in the 964. That is what it looks like in the front at the moment. And look, you can see they're bumper to bumper as they train up 3 in a row with the number 19 of Walker. Finding a bit of dirt there off the back of the wall.
So here we go, Wade Sweeting gets into the back of the 48 car. And it's going to, 48 Kahu Whalen's going to hold up Wade Sweeting. That's going to help some of our locals as the block job's coming in. Here comes Max Baker though. Going to have a say on that as Wade Sweeting tries to get past Kahu Whalen. That's going to drop him back as Jack Rarity wins the race. Ben Smith in second, Max Baker in third. Wade Sweeting still finishes in 4th. Harlan Brunt, Melissa Gifford, Troy Cleveland, Kerry Walker, Zoe Hughes and Kyan Robinson, your top 10. Well, that has just made Heat 3 very, very interesting.
Yeah, it is, but you talk about friendships. I bumped into an old mate of mine, Keith Taylor, up there on the hill before. Keith and I used to sit...
Oh, that's not Mark but
points, Paul Denton. But, you know, write Glenn Jury off at your peril because look how well he's gone. So, hey, just points, Paul Denton in 13th with 80 points. Scotty Miller in 14th with 59 points. Kieran Harris in 15th with 42 points. Jeremy Webb in 16th with 29 points. And Travis Buckley in 17th with 23 points. So that is how your point standings line up for tonight's City South Vanspears Midget Super Series feature race. So a couple of notes. Jamie Brown is out with chassis damage after that first heat. And Craig Cox is also out with mechanical issues. But that's not going to stop them doing 15 laps here tonight with 1 point between Jay Chadwick, who's got his car fixed, thankfully, because we're going to be in for a right real scrap between these two. Chadwick, 240 points. McCoubry, 239. The clash of the Titans, I tell you.
Yeah, I tell you what, 1 point, there's nothing in it, is there? So
yep.
we're in for a real treat here because we're going to see some of South Island's best midget racing. And I'm really, really pleased to see that Jay Chadwick got that car fixed because he got a bit of a raw deal in that last heat. So to see him back out there again, that does me wonders.
Yep, well, it is 15 laps, and I tell you what, the first real big win of the night goes to Liam McCoubry. He starts on the pole.
Yes, well done. And, you know, you're going to want to be off that pole because it's going to make it so much easier,
yep.
but he's got a pack full of talent right up behind him. So
well, he has another challenger in alongside him, Ben Morgan. He could easily win this title too. He's
yep.
alongside him second, and Jack Lowe in third. Then we go back to the 66C, the Bounty Hunter of Glenn Jury in fourth. The 4C of Stan McCrenna fifth. Then it is points leader by 1 point, 98C, Jay Chadwick in sixth. Nathan Wilkie in 7th in the 21N, and Matt Davison in 8th in the 15C. Then it is in 9th, the 88C of Travis Buckley, and in 10th, the 5C of Scotty Miller. In 11th, the 10C of Paul Denson. So, for you folks watching at home or watching here in the stands, things to note for this, the finale for the City South Vanspears Midget Super Series. If Liam McCoubry is ahead of Jay Chadwick, he is your City South Vanspears Midget Super Series title winner. However, if he is beaten by Ben Morgan, but he is still ahead of Jay Chadwick, that changes things as well. But if Jay Chadwick gets ahead of Liam McCoubry, Jay Chadwick wins the title. So basically, Chadwick needs to be ahead of McCoubry, McCoubry needs to be ahead of Chadwick, but if Morgan gets ahead of one of them, that could change the game.
Wow, that'll be, yeah. And Ben's not the type of guy to roll over and take that thing. He'll be absolutely relishing this opportunity because he's still in it in his hunt. He'll be running his own race.
Yeah, and Nathan Wilkie will be in there as well, potentially. We'll get all the confirmed points to you a little bit later on once the results have been entered, and we can confirm that hopefully just before that sprint car final. But we are going to get racing here very shortly, and we will be able to declare a City South Vanspears Midget Super Series champion. If McCoubry can hold on to this and win this feature race tonight, he will be the champion. If Chadwick makes his way through the field and wins the feature tonight, he is the champion. If Ben Morgan beats both of them, he could be the champion, but we won't know based on those points until after this race concludes. So, this is all on the line, the City South Vanspears Midget Super Series finale. McCoubry and Morgan on the front row. Here we go, green flag flyers are underway. Good start from Liam McCoubry. He's up the inside of Ben Morgan as they go down into the town bend. McCoubry well and truly clear as they get a slingshot run. Off turns number 1 and 2, but Morgan's going to slide up the inside again. So McCoubry holding off Morgan for now. Morgan had a bit of a slingshot run off the back straight away and into turns 3 and 4, but it wasn't going to work for him. Chadwick starting to work around Nathan Wilkie now. He's got that place done. Then we go back. We go up forward a row, I should say. Sam McCrenna running up with Glenn Jury. But as it stands, McCoubry would be your City South Vanspears Midget Super Series champion if it stayed like this. Ben Morgan into second. There goes McCrenna up the track, and that allows Jay Chadwick to get another place. So Chadwick starting to make his way through the field. Every point counts in this. The City South Vanspears Midget Super Series finale. Ben Morgan all over the back of Liam McCoubry, and Jack Lowe not out of this either. Glenn Jerry in the 4th position. He's being hounded by Nathan Wilkie and Jay Chadwick. And Jay Chadwick goes up and over down at the prison bend. He had a rut and just went over. So that is going to put an end to that. Jay Chadwick will not win the City South Banspears Midget Super Series Championship tonight.
Yeah, you've really got a feel for him there. That's unfortunately it was on. He was making a move around the outside, but it just got caught out. So, and we all race on. People have said it earlier. We all race on the same track, but he just unfortunately hooked the one rut at the wrong time on the wrong angle. That sent it like that. So not a good way to finish your night.
Well, Jay Chadwick gets his 2nd tumble tonight. And just hoping we can get either Jay out of the car or to the infield, one or the other, in quick time. That is the most important thing, is that Jay is okay. Looking at a replay here, yeah, vicious rollover for Jay Chadwick. And, well, we hope Jay is okay. We're just going to wait and see if we can get him out of the car first. That is the main priority, is making sure he is okay. And the Wharftown Motorsport team, the Rangiora ITM crew, worked so hard on that car. They've got a feature win to their credit this season, and so close this season to winning that City South Banspears Midget Super Series, and it just comes all unstuck tonight.
Unfortunately, just caught out. So I just heartbroken for him, because he'd really shown a turn of speed and started collecting some good race wins and a feature win earlier on in the season, and then unfortunately ends like this. So
yeah,
poor guy.
Of course, every retirement you get also affects the season points. And there he is, folks. He's walking down into the infield. Give him a big round of applause. Jay Chadwick out of the car. That is great to see. And unfortunately, his title chances of the City South Banspears Midget Super Series come to an end tonight. So it is now between the two men at the front, Liam McCoubrey and Ben Morgan. McCoubrey needs to win this feature to have solidified this title. If Ben Morgan gets around him, though, it is all up in the air. You don't know if Ben Morgan's going to be the champion based on those points.
So we've got some exciting racing ahead of us, but not just those two at the front there. You got the rest of that field, like Sam McCrenna has been showing a real good turn of speed in the last few meetings as well. And Tony, don't ever write off the likes of Glenn Jury and Jack Lowe. They've got experience in spades, and they're going to use that now. And this is where it comes into play.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. And just looking at the season points before we go back racing, 40 points available for a win. So Ben Morgan, 223, a 40-point win would put him at 263. So he would still be able to win this title if he gets this feature win tonight. Here we go, back to racing. No, never mind, they're again trolling us. This is the second time it's happened tonight where we've, of course, start too early. But we're really looking forward to getting the rest of this race underway, because it's going to be heated between Liam McCoubrey and Ben Morgan. You don't know who's going to win this. If Morgan wins, he can easily win this race, this City South Banspears Series tonight. Here we go, folks. The City South Banspears Midgets Super Series for their finale gets back underway here at Ruapuna Speedway, and it's 3 wide for that second spot. Ben Morgan looks up the inside of McCoubrey, and look at that, right around the top side, Jack Lowe. What a move as he went through turns 1 and 2, now trying to go around the top side through 3 and 4. Jack Lowe around the top side of Ben Morgan now as they go down back into the town bend. Morgan gets up onto the pole line and just slips up a little bit higher, loses a little bit of time. So Jack Lowe now starting to reel in Liam McCoubrey. Liam McCoubrey doesn't need to worry about Jack Lowe. Jack Lowe is not within striking distance for points right now. He can let him go as Jack Lowe gets around him, and he's clear to the lead over Liam McCoubrey. He has to worry about the car behind him, though. The car that is sending him to his outside. Ben Morgan running around the top side. Jack Lowe gets all sideways on the exit of turn 3 and 4. Still holds on to the lead, though, as they go down into the town bend one more time. So Ben Morgan's gotten ahead of Liam McCoubrey. McCoubrey can't afford to lose many more spots. He's being hunted down by the bouncy hunter now. So Glenn Jury around the top side. McCoubrey dropping like a rock right now. So Ben Morgan into second. McCoubrey down to 4th. This could change everything. Jack Lowe, currently your feature race leader. Then we go back to Ben Morgan. Then it is Glenn Jury, Liam McCoubrey, and he's being hunted down by Sam McCrenna. So McCoubrey could yet lose more spots. This could be disaster for Liam McCoubrey's chances of winning the City South Band Spears Midget Super Series. And looks like Ben Morgan just gets a little sideways on through turns 3 and 4. 9 laps in the books. 6 to go for Jack Lowe. It has been a while since Jack Lowe won a feature here at Ruapuna Speedway, and it is Sam McCrenna who's gone around at the Town Bend, looped it on his own, it looks like there, Brendan. And, well, he was hounding the back of Liam McCoubrey for many laps.
He was putting some pressure on, absolutely put some pressure on, so just disappointing for the whole team there. That's unfortunately, sometimes we don't get it 100% right, and you know, after the last few meetings and the good racing that's been put in, it'll just hurt that little bit more.
Yeah, well, folks, if you're wondering when the last win from Jack Lowe here at Ruapuna Speedway was, I can tell you, March 2nd, 2024.
Right.
Where he started from grid 3, 343 days ago. So, again, been a while for some of these drivers who are starting to make their form come back, and Jack Lowe, what a stonking performance from him so far, but Ben Morgan not too far away either.
And these double file restarts will make it very interesting, though.
Yeah, well, just looking on the infield there, Liam McCoubrey, not too sure what's going on there. This could be playing right into Ben Morgan's hands. Jay Chadwick out of the race.
Yeah.
Liam McCoubrey potentially issues for him.
Yeah, that's...
Does this end up in being a Ben Morgan City South Band Spears champion at the end of this, with the 2 top contenders potentially out of this?
Yeah.
It's not over till it's over.
Absolutely. We're trying to predict the future, aren't we? But it's nonetheless, it doesn't look good. I mean, there'll be some nervous car owners and pit crew on that, you know, standing with the crowd there looking and watching that going, well, what's up with that car?
Yeah. So it looks like we just get confirmation as to whether he goes to the infield or back onto the track. So, still just waiting. Looks like they're going to get a push truck on the back of Liam McCoubrey's car. So still not sure what's going on there, Brendan, but hopefully nothing super serious.
No, and the cost of these little cars gets pretty excessive. So, you know, can only hope that it's that if there is damage, that it's nothing too serious.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's just one of those things. So Liam McCoubrey being pushed off. Now, was he going to get a push off to the infield? He is not being pushed off to the infield. He is being refired. So that's positive signs. So it's not all over yet for Liam McCoubrey. He can still have a chance of winning this. So just having a look at those points and how much points are offered. So just give you a quick insight into that. The lowest Liam McCoubrey could finish in this race is currently 6th. And 6th place for Liam McCoubrey would give him 30 points. So we'll do all that calculation later, but it is green flag racing once again. It is Jack Lowe who's being absolutely dived by Ben Morgan. Morgan takes the lead away. So Ben Morgan to the front of this now. Jack Lowe led early on, but it's Ben Morgan in control of this field right now, hunting down that City South Band Spears Midget Super Series title. And it is the Bounty Hunter in 2nd. It's been a long time since we've seen Glenn Jury in victory lane here at Ruapuna Speedway. Could tonight be his night? He's got to close down on Ben Morgan, but nothing is ever ruled out, and nothing is ever a guarantee in speedway racing. 11 laps in the books. 4 to go for Ben Morgan. He's being chased down by Glenn Jury. The Access Man's 66C car, the Bounty Hunter, he's hunting out Ben Morgan right now, but he's being hunted by Nathan Wilkie. He could still play a part in this race as well. Who knows who's going to win this, the City South Band Spears Midget Super Series title up for grabs between Morgan, Wilkie and McCoubrey, with Chadwick out of it. Wilkie looking at the inside of Jury. This is all on with 13 laps in the books. 2 to go for Ben Morgan. White flag about to fly here. Ben Morgan going through the Prison Bend, Glenn Jury in second, then we go back to Nathan Wilkie. White flag flies one more time around here for Ben Morgan. Glenn Jury in second. Then we go back to Nathan Wilkie in third. Then it's Liam McCurbury fourth. Out of the Prison Bend for the final time. Ben Morgan takes home the victory tonight for the Midgets and could be one step closer to being a City South Vanspears Midget Super Series champion. Glenn Jury, what a drive from the bouncy hunter. He comes home second. And Nathan Wilkie in third. Then we go back to Liam McCurbury fourth, Jack Lowe fifth, Matt Davison sixth, and the two retirees, Sam McCrenna and Jay Chadwick. Well, a great race there, Brendan. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to have to do some calculations here really quickly.
Yeah, you get your calculator out and blow the dust off that thing because you've got some maths to do. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens, what comes of this. But you know, write Glenn Jury off at your peril because look how well he's gone. So, hey, just one of the I guess we might call them seasoned campaigners and just put tidy laps in and did what he needed to do. So he can be very happy with himself. And we're just going down to Louise now to have a chat with Ben. Ben getting out of the car and
Well, there he is, Rjptv. Give him a big round of applause. Ben Morgan, your feature winner tonight for the Midgets.
Louise, a great drive from Ben Morgan. He's been one of the best here in the Midgets over the past couple of seasons now, and he's taken out tonight's feature race. He's down with you.
He sure is. Ben, another fantastic race for you, obviously winning when you guys needed to. You've had a pretty on and off season since your win earlier, but able to park it here tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, that was an unreal night, really, to win both heats and the feature. We struggled early in that feature and then dropped a couple of spots, but the car came on towards the end really good. Felt like the right rear was going flat, but no, we managed to hold on. Unlucky to Jay and Liam. I don't know how the points will shake out, but we were charging for them tonight. Huge thanks to my mum, my dad, Glenn, the car owner, and he's just amazing. Terry, the best crew guy ever, and then all my sponsors on the car. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ben Morgan with a clean sweep tonight, and the Midgets picks up tonight's feature race for the City South Vanspears Midget Super Series.
Kick the footy around over there. Also, we've got the hot dogs and chips and bits and pieces down in turn 2, CK Dirt Caf Track Cafe. Man, that's a mouthful. Down there beside the pit area, the club rooms. I grabbed myself a seafood salad from there before. Very, very good. Comes highly recommended. And the bacon and egg slice top notch as well. So head on down there and see Kathy and Mr. C. And also, if you want some Central Motor Speedway merchandise, over in turn 2, the yellow van there, you can see some people there at the moment. They've got some really cool kit in there. They've got some vintage Central Motor Speedway t-shirts, kids and adults. They've got bucket hats, all those sorts of things there. So go and grab yourself a bit of memorabilia from this weekend's racing here at Central Motor Speedway. Race 1 about to get underway. 6 shooters out on track. Adam Evans on the outside. Samantha Sanford on the inside. Green flag drops. Race number 1 here. And Evans leads him down to 1 and 2. Mason Whelan made a move up the inside of Sanford. So did Harrison Brown, car 57. Luke Shearing trying to make a move down the outside of Sanford. He's car number 68. Then we go back to Brian Ellison in car number 19. The 42 there, that is Corey Duck-Manton. He's got Dwayne Cracknell behind him. Eli Bartley in car number 5 there out of Riverside Speedway. Car number 81, Blair Smith. Oh, a bit of a tangle up there. Both the Livingston cars, Josh Livingston and Danny Livingston, father and son. Danny being the dad. And Samantha Cunningham, I think it is there, in car number 96. At the tail of this field. So out front at the moment, Adam Evans leads this one here. He won the Otago 6-shooter championship a few nights ago up at Beachland Speedway. Of course, over the last couple of seasons, we've seen him behind the wheel of the Hydrolink sprint car, but good to see him back here turning some laps in the 6-shooter over this weekend. Mason Whelan out of Riverside Speedway still holding second place at the moment. Luke Shearing, he's made a move right down the inside of Harrison Brown. That's for 3rd place. Looking pretty racy at the moment is Shearing. Brian Allison trying to chase down Harrison Brown. He's down in 5th place at the moment. Then we go back to Sanford Duck-Manton out of Ruapuna Speedway in Christchurch. Fastest man on track is Luke Shearing with a 17.244. 4 laps left to run in this one here. Race 1 of the afternoon. Evans through once more. Whelan, Shearing. Brian Allison starting to attack the inside line of Harrison Brown. Brown in defence mode here at the moment, but Allison looking pretty racy. Down the back straight they go. Through turns 3 and 4. Evans ticks the box once more. Another lap down. 3 to run. Allison now with a big look on the inside of Brown. Brown manages to defend. Danny Livingston starting to put some pressure on Sanford now as well. Of course, he had that little bit of a tangle up in the first lap, but he's managed to pass about 4 or 5 cars. So Livingston looking pretty racy. He's car number 25, just coming past the control tower now. Trying to size up the inside of Samantha Sanford. Samantha Sanford, she's been a big improver in the grades so far this season. So the 41 of Adam Evans sets sail on his last lap. Started on pole for this one here. And he looks almost assured as he heads into turns 3 and 4 to take out race number 1 of the afternoon here at Powderworks Central Motor Speedway. Car number 8, Mason Whelan gets across the line just ahead of Luke Shearing in the 68. Then we go back to Harrison Brown, Brian Allison, Samantha Sanford, Danny Livingston, Corey Duck Manton, Dwayne Cracknell, Josh Livingston, Eli Bartley, Blair Smith and Samantha Cunningham. That is race number 1 of the afternoon here at Powderworks Central Motor Speedway. We'll be back very, very shortly. Youth Mini Stocks coming out for their first race of the afternoon. Of course, 2025, the first speedway meeting in the world, anywhere in the world for 2025. So you're all a part of history, folks, which is very, very cool. Stock cars out on track. Of course, a sponsor of the biggest stirrer here this afternoon, Taco Roofing, putting up $500 for the biggest stirrer here. Of course, also, I think trophies up for grabs for first, second, and third across all the grades this afternoon as well. But $500, a little bit of an incentive to go out there and just wreak a bit of havoc. Don't forget, next meeting here at Central Motor Speedway, the Aotearoa Cup for production saloons and Rolling Thunder for 6 shooters. It's a 2-day event happening on the 10th and 11th of January. So just a couple of weeks away, or about a week and a half away. Pretty much what it is, folks, is the unofficial, come on, wee fingers in the air, unofficial New Zealand Championship for both those grades. So get along here, 2 days of racing. It's a fantastic weekend, 10th and 11th of January. So it looks like Zach Newsham, car number 6 out of Riverside, starting on the front row of the grid. He's got Luke Malloy on his outside in the 4.35. Traylon Ryland Annabelle just rolling out of the pit gate there a little bit late. He's lined up in position now. Clerk of the course wandering through. He looks pretty happy. Why wouldn't he be? Must thank Mr. Whippy as well. Got a wee Mr. Whippy brought up to me. Mighty fine stuff. Alrighty. Race 2, stock cars underway. Zach Newsham. Josh Bolton. Bit of Morse code on the back of Newsham there. Luke Malloy comes across and gives him the big don't answer. Stephen Thompson trying to find a way through here now as well. Bit of biff and barge around turns number 1 and 2 there. Luke Fallow, the second of the Phantom Engineering machines out there. Luke Malloy gets pushed out towards the wall down there in turn number 4. In fact, 3 cars getting a bit of a nudge round there. Car number 16, Casey McEwen, just sizing up the back of the Bolton machine. Bailey Mitchell a little bit high and wide, gets put out to the wall. Casey McEwen puts Bolton out towards the wall there as well. A couple of Central Coyote teammates just dealing to each other down there. One out in front, it's car number 6, Zach Newsham, the Branks Home Construction sponsored machine, with a handy lead at the moment. Then we go back to Bailey Mitchell, Luke Fellow, car number 131, Adam Neighbour in the 99. Dylan Prattley, he's come in under a bit of attention there from Traylon Ryland Annabelle. Then we've got Ryan Ritter, Stephen Thompson gets past him. Prattley gets spun coming out of 2 by Ryland Annabelle. Still Zach Newsham leading this one here, car 6. Down the back straight he goes, comes out of 2. Most likely going to go red here, I would imagine. In fact, we have gone red. There's just a few cars that haven't seen that light. I know it was very, very hard to see. Even I couldn't see that red light from the control tower into turn number 1. So that there will be for Bolton. Of course, he was the winner of heat number 1. Been told, in fact, he's probably been told by the Speedway New Zealand officials to head back down to park up there, because he did steal a little bit of real estate. But as I say, that red light at the end of turn number 1 here was very, very hard to see.
Down in Christchurch, not Christchurch, in Greymouth last weekend. Locke and Brett almost made the top 3 to 54 of Cohen Thompson, as we've still got one more round of the TQ Club Champs to go. Graham Bizet out there. Graham Porter, we thought he had an engine fire here a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't actually, we didn't know what it was, but yeah, back out there again. Good to see John T. Austin. Clinton Cross out there. Maya Nicholson, there we go, I've got it right. That saved myself $20. I'll get you guys to call these races. I got it almost right down in Greymouth the other day, but it's good to have a bit of banter with some of these drivers.
Good to see the 47 car of Jess Morris out there on the track as well. Unfortunately, she ended up sitting the last one out. Yeah, a bit of a disappointment considering she's put so much effort into this tri-series and making it happen. But we've got a 3-minute bell here, do we, Daniel?
Yeah, looks like the 6 of Alicia Hill wants 3 minutes. Corkle wants 3 minutes. So they all want 3 minutes. So they're all lining up for the 3-minute bell, Jack.
I've got a sneaky feeling that sun and where it is could be a bit of an issue, just where the sun's sitting, starting to go down. We've certainly got our blinders down, so we'll wait and see whether there's a bit of race tape come up. And it might just be a bit of race tape. As you can see, some of them have actually got the race tape already on the front window. So I know this happens quite a lot in Cromwell. They start at 5 o'clock and the sun comes down behind the hills, sort of in the Cargill, Milford Sound way, and when it gets down low enough, basically blinded down the back straight of Cromwell Speedway. So also happening here, that's what happens when you have a nice sunny day without any cloud. Certainly been a cracker of a day here today in Nelson. Another one tomorrow, a bit of rain late Monday, I believe. So Tuesday's Clay Dash might be a bit of a play, but I've been seeing lots of this sort of stuff being dug out of the back hills up near Tasman View. I've even upset the local mail lady, my local mail lady too. Shara Higgins and Mum delivered the parcels up that way. We've had to close the road off while we're digging. We've got a bit of a hole which, if you look at where the Sky Tower, where the towers are, about halfway up the towers is how deep our hole is at the moment, digging a bit of the road out and putting it on the stock bank in Motueka River.
Yep, race tape.
Is that?
Race tape going on for that sun.
Yeah, it would be a bit of sun. Looking forward to this last stock car race too, Zane. Are they going to stop these C cars? Are we going to see the 48 troll the pole line? And who's going to win the club champs?
Well, look, I've got to say, I reckon the team will be in behind cars like Ben Smith, the 93 car from here. I've heard that he may be looking at that national title next year and really doing a big rebuild over the off-season and getting things ready. He wants that 1NZ back on the car. You'll see it is on the bonnet there, on the intake, just a filter on top. You can see the sheen of where it used to have a 1NZ, so hopefully the team will be looking after him. Max Baker's still in with a chance as well in the 67, the current holder. He'll be wanting to defend, so who knows, anything could happen with the stock cars.
Yeah, of course, Jack Rjptv, the Blenheim contract, or Blenheim base, but contracted to Nelson over the last 2 or 3 years, really enjoying his racing over here. None of the Halls here tonight. Both Dylan and Adam not here tonight. And that will send them back as they look forward to the Stampede, Summer Slam as we call it, for the stock cars. That should be interesting as part of the Rees Tour. 2 days of racing. If you're not here in Nelson, then I would suggest you get your car and come up this way, because I think the PTS Stampede, the Rees Tour, is just going to be absolutely off the charts. It's almost as big as the New Zealand title and a possibility. It should be absolutely great to watch.
Yeah, I'll miss that one, unfortunately, Jody. I'm going to be in Sydney that weekend for a bit of work, so unfortunately I won't be around to call that one. But look, it's going to be a great race meeting, folks. Don't forget to get your tickets the 15th and 16th of March. It will be getting a little bit cooler in the evening, so bring along a hoodie and some trousers to chuck on as the evening goes on. But the racing on the track will be blistering hot.
Certainly will be for Dan. He's got a 3 nights in a row. I'm lucky I get to do 2 nights and then shoot down to Greymouth for the Tuesday. And then back to Greymouth for the following weekend for the South Island Midgets, Modifieds and Gold Rush. Looking forward to doing that one down in Greymouth. Great retrack. If you haven't been down here, King of the Coast weekend should be a good one. It's in between their last race here. I'm not sure Blenheim are racing that weekend on King of the Coast weekend. Can't remember. Doesn't matter because I'm not there, but Dan may be. Otherwise, you'll be in the crowd at King of the Coast, no doubt. Looking forward to that. Even Rebecca Malin, their local photographer, shot down to Greymouth. She said, I want to go back there. I said, that's fine. King of the Coast, come back. They were open arms with it down here. Very hospitable blokes down here at Greymouth. Very entertaining track in there. Some great fun. King of the Coast should be an absolute ball. I think Super Stocks will be there this year, so looking forward to it.
Yep, Greymouth, of course. You go to the Speedway and then you go to the unofficial after-match function at the Rec Hotel. Always a good night at the Rec if you're in Greymouth, and always a nice place there.
Yep, no, certainly good feed there. Rightio, we've got our TQs about to grid up. We've got them all with a bit of race tape on, just that sun right as they come around turn 3 and 4 on Bixie's Hill, causing a bit of issue. But I've no doubt they'll be you're right, just wait for the lights out. Dan about to call this one. Jess Morris on pole. On the outside, it is the 42 machine. And it's got Graham Porter in the 42 machine, it says here. Sounds about right. Yeah, so he hasn't got his car here, so he's driving the 42 machine. So his normal car's not here, but that's all good. Rightio, lights are out. Dan, about to call this one.
Rightio, Heat 2 of the TQ Tri-Series, sponsored by MTF Finance Nelson. About to get the green, and away we go racing. And it is Jess Morris who's going to lead us through as they all fire into turns 1 and 2, about 3 or 4 wide as they fire it down the back straight now. Watch the likes of Alicia Hill and a few of them trying to make their way through the field, but it is the 47 of Jess Morris leading us out from the 42 of Graham Porter. Here comes Maya Nicholson in the 4N car as they all fire through. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy going on at the back there as they work their way through. Sort of the lumps sort of gone out of the track as a few go wide. There's a lot happening at the back there, Zane, isn't there?
Yeah, look, Maya Nicholson getting airborne there coming out of turn number 4. She's pretty lumpy, Dan. Keep an eye on Alicia Hill. Look, she's done what she loves to do. She's getting up high and wide, and she is just absolutely zooming around. She's running her own race and getting through some of those other cars. She's not bothering to fight. She's just saying, I'm going around, see you later. But it is still that number 47 of Jess Morris who's leading it out at the moment from the number 4 car there of Maya Nicholson. Aaron Finlay in the 38C car in third is coming under massive pressure there with Maya Nicholson. It's nose to nose as Alicia Hill in the 6 managed to sneak her way up to 4th while no one was watching. That's where we're looking at the moment, Dan. It is all go out there, mate.
Oh, it certainly is. The battle's on at the back, but it's Jess Morris leading from Aaron Finlay, Alicia Hill. Go back to Graham Porter, Kyan Bissett, Jaden Corker was, Jonty Austin had to do the old shortcut. And rejoins, got one sitting on the infield already, so we're starting to lose them as they work their way through, but it's Jess Morris from Aaron Finlay, Maya Nicholson, Alicia Hill, Kyan Bissett, Jaden Corkle, who of course leads this TQ Tri-Series as they work their way through side by side at the back there. I think that's Clinton Cross. And one of the others from Christchurch, I think that might be Lachlan Brett. And they battle on now. It's still all on out here, isn't it? Same with the TQs as Austin goes into the infield.
Yeah, look, we wanted this kind of action. We wanted to see hard, fast racing, and they're giving it to us. And the track is not disappointing as they've got to work hard, pick their lines, and decide where they're going to go. This is taking maximum concentration from these drivers, with Jess Morris still up in first place from Aaron Finlay. Finlay has got the pressure all over her back bumper. Alicia Hill in third over Maya Nicholson. She had to drop out. She was sitting there very happily, but she's back in fifth now with Bizette in the yellow, blue and red machine sitting in fourth. Corkle back there in the yellow beast, making a move from Thompson as well in the 54 car. Jamie Boot, Lachlan Brett, Clinton Cross, Dave McSherry, Graham Porter, Jonty Austin. That is what they're looking like at the moment as they continue to keep the power on. They've run 10 of 12, Dan. They've got to be looking forward to that white flag.
Yeah, here we go. White flag should come out now for Jess Morris. She'll be absolutely wrapped with that as they go through. So here we go. Battle's on now. Looks like Alicia Hill's just dropped back. Kyan Bissett in third, but it's still all on as they work their way into turns 3 and 4, and they're going to come off the turn. It will be a race win for Jess Morris from Aaron Finlay. We go back to Alicia Hill, Maya Nicholson, and then it looks like Jaden Corkle, Colin Thompson, Jamie Booth, Lachlan Brett, and Clinton Cross, your top 10. Some high-octane racing from our TQs, putting on an absolute show for us tonight.
Look, the class of those drivers out there in that top 5, they were trading places. The battles were on. They were working hard. Jess Morris in control of that, but boy, oh boy, the sweat had to be trickling down off the brow on that one with Aaron Finlay all over the back bumper there, not letting up for a second. Kynan Bizette thrilled with a third, but Alicia Hill, she managed to do a huge jump up from the back of the pack to get up into that third place, dropping back unfortunately to fourth. Maya Nicholson as well, another key peddler up there. Jaden Corkle in the yellow beast, the 66 machine, another keen racer here at Milestone Homes. Boy, oh boy, they gave us everything we wanted from that one tonight.
Oh, they certainly did. And things are about to heat up as we bring out Heat. Finlay sitting there in second and Jess Morris in third. So makes things interesting. 20-lap feature, by the way, has come up on our screen. I think it was supposed to be 15, but it's a 20-lap feature for the TQs. So this one is going to be all on. If you know anything about feature races, we know Jaden Corkle loves to win the features here, which will be quite crucial getting into that Tri-Series. Not too sure how the points are sitting after the 2 heats, but this feature might be all on this one, Jody.
Yep, we'll get official points for the prize giving later on. Sorry, busy catching up with a few people.
Yes, it sounds like the street stock runoff will be after the TQs, and then we'll get into our Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint car feature. And the series finale, the battle on between Connor Rangi and Joel Myers Jr. about to heat up shortly, but the battle on between Jaden Corkle and Aaron Finlay.
Still will in this one of the...
Finlay sitting there in second and Jess Morris in third. So makes things interesting. 20-lap feature, by the way, has come up on our screen. I think it was supposed to be 15, but it's a 20-lap feature. Get into our Hydrolink War of the Wings sprint car feature. And the series finale, the battle on between Connor Rangi and Joel Myers Jr. about to heat up shortly, but the battle on between Jaden Corkle and Aaron Finlay for the TQ Tri-Series. Big thanks to MTF Finance here in Nelson for sponsoring tonight's round of the TQ Tri-Series. And big thanks to Jess Morris for putting this series together as we get set for 20 laps of TQ Midget action. And as we say, lights are out, so here we go. About to get ready for 20 laps of TQ action.
Yep, Sue Nichols listening in. She's got a broken foot at the moment from Rotorua. Listening in to see what's happening with the grandkids. Rightio, here we go. Cohen Thompson, second at the GP last weekend, is going to lead them out after lap number 1 of 20. Alicia Hill finished 6th last weekend, is in second place. Then we go back to the 66 of Jaden Corkle. Made the feature race for the New Zealand title. Watch for the 39 of Lock and Brett, very, very quick at Greymouth last weekend. And the 38 of Aaron Finley, the two Finley boys here again tonight. Time to set in the 24 machine as they shoot on through. Some goodies over there. I hope you didn't win the soccer ball as well, did you?
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens out there, Jody. My oh my, I'll have to say from down track side there, this is looking fantastic for the TQs. That 54 car of Thompson has got to be happy with this one, leading out in the feature so convincingly. He's got to be smiling ear to ear, don't you think?
Second last weekend at the GP at his home track, he was certainly going great guns. Of course, the family are racing both in Greymouth. Nelson and his dad's racing up in Waikaraka Park. See a couple of cars come infield, the 83, that'll be Blake Finley, and the 18 of Clinton Cross heads infield. So we've got two casualties in this 20-lap feature race as they head into lap number 5. So 1/4 of the race through and done and dusted. And at the moment, Cohen Thompson keeping a good gap on the 6 car of Alicia Hill. Then we go back to Lock and Brett. And it will be the 38 of Finley. That'll be Aaron, 28 of Bizets, and 66 of Jaden Corkle.
Corkle just striking Bizet. That is unfortunate there. Bizet continues to fly around, though, completely unfazed.
Yep, and it looks like they've pulled the cautions on reasonably quickly to let the 66 car get back on there. Could have just sat on the pole line and caused the cautions to see if it was his fault or not. See whether he rejoins with the 24 car or whether he's going to start off the back.
Got to say, it did look like he could have ended up on the lid there. Corkle doing everything he can and a master of control there, just managing to pull it back and stay on all 4 wheels. So look, he's going to rejoin the race.
Yeah, we'll rejoin, but will it be at the back or back in his racing position? We'll wait and see. They've got him sitting in 6th place on the laps, but I've got a feeling I think there was all his own fault at this stage. We'll wait and see what the referees decide. Looks like they're happy with him being at the back, so yep, so they've put the cause of the caution on the 66 machine. So that gap that young Cohen Thompson had has gone as they go green once again, not mucking around. And Alicia Hill on the charge. As we see the 52 of John Johnston heading infield as well. So problems with a couple of these cars, but that lead that Thompson had back once again as Hill will start to defend from Brett and Finley as they fly through on lap number 6. So that caution just delaying things through. Maya Nicholson in the 4 car trying to make some headway down towards the mid-pack of this race. Bizet just trying to hold that 46 machine. That'll be, won't be Jess Morris, it'll be Jamie Booth.
Yeah, Jamie Booth, that's right. And look, we've got a bit of an opening happening here between the 2 main packs, haven't we, Jody? We've got our top 3 and they've got a couple of car lengths between themselves, and then the 38 of Finley. Then it's Boot, Bizet all over it. Then the number 4 of Nicholson. Corkle's back there as well. That's what it's looking like at the moment. But those top 3 are absolutely pounding the pavement as they hit the 10 mark. They are halfway through. Thompson has got to be starting to feel a bit exhausted, don't you think, Dan? 10 laps in the lead with the pressure on in behind. What do you reckon?
Yeah, still got 10 laps to go, so if he can hold on here and hope no yellows come through, he'll be wrapped. But as they work their way through, it is still Thompson from Hill, then Brett, then Finlay. As they work their way through, Jaden Corgill's got a bit of work to do now to make his way up. He's out in about 8th spot. Here's the series leader. We got one spun up there. That's Jess Morris, the 47.
So we'll go back to a caution. We had a little bit of this with the GP last weekend. Certainly a lot of cautions last week with the TQs. The track just playing a little bit. I think the guys just overshooting it a bit. Certainly a different track to what they had at the GP when it was quite moist here, quite tacky.
Well, Jess Morris just being able to roll back out there, doing the wee loop that she was required to, and she's off the back again. So back in the race, which is great to see. This is great feature racing, isn't it? It's what we want to see, is nothing is quite static out there at the moment, and these are the opportunities that if you're in second or third, you're really wanting to make the most of. We know that Alicia Hill can be pretty quick off the gun. This is where she could have the opportunity just to give Thompson a run for his money, but also that 39 car of Lachlan Brett sitting back there in third, Finlay as well. Those top four all have to make the most of this restart as they get the opportunity now to pick up some of those precious seconds that Cohen Thompson was making, giving that space to make the track his own.
Radio lights are out, about to go racing again. Lap 11 of 20. We get the green and away we go racing. And it's still Thompson who leads us through as they get a bit bouncy through turns 1 and 2. Just some lumpy spots there as they work their way down the back. They go into 3 and 4. It is still Cohen Thompson who's going to lead them through. Look at them all bump and grind through those bumps and lumps as they work their way past us here at the tower. Lap 12 or 20. It's still Cohen Thompson from Alicia Hill. Then we go back to Lachlan Brett, Aaron Finlay, Jamie Booth. Watch Jaden Corkle try and make his way through the field, but they're all working their way hard through those lumps and bumps. A few of them getting a bit of air time as they work their way through. Still look, Cohen Thompson from Alicia Hill. Go back to Lachlan Brett as they all get through that lumpy stuff, saying.
Well, it's interesting to keep an eye on Lachlan Brett as they come out of turn number 2, choosing to take a higher line than Hill. Watch this, he's going to drift up there to the very top edge where that rough stuff is just a little bit smoother. Lachlan Brett obviously finding that a happier place to ride. Alicia Hill is just running it right down the guts through the rough stuff and quite happy to stay there. Interesting just seeing those two different tactics as we see now Corkle moving up through the middle of the pack, but it does look like Jamie Booth managing to move up into 5th as well and just fend him off with the pressure now on that 38 of Finley. Jamie Booth all over him and Jaden Corkle there. Kynan Bizet, Maya Nicholson, Dave McSherry, Jess Morris. It is all go as they now finish up lap number 16 of 20. We're getting down to the pointy end now, Dan.
Yeah, we certainly are. So laps start to tick by. White flag won't be too far away as they work their way through. Here comes Cohen Thompson into 3 and 4 he goes. So a couple laps away from the whites. Here we go. We're going to about to tick down lap 18 next time round. Will be 1 to go for Cohen Thompson as they fire through. Down the back he goes. Thompson, Hill, Brett, Corkle. Corkle's made his way up into 4th after having to restart off the back. So that is great work from him. As the white flag comes out for Cohen Thompson, Alicia Hill, Lachlan Brett, Jaden Corkle, Kynan Bizet having a wee battle as they work their way through. So down into turns 3 and 4 they go. They'll come off the turn. It will be a feature win to Cohen Thompson from Alicia Hill. Then we go back to Lachlan Brett, Jaden Corkle. Great work from him to finish in 4th after having to restart off the back. Aaron Finlay, Jamie Booth, Kynan Bizet, Maya Nicholson, Dave McSherry and Jess
Forsey on the outside of the front row. Joel Myers Jr. in the 3NZ car. Row number 2, grid 335. Mean Gene Spooner in the 30 in that 35 car. Yeah, we already said that, AJ. And from grid number 4, Gus Dawson in the 9N. From grid 5 is Jamie Larson in the 82M. Beside him in grid 6 is Jonathan Allard in the 4 USA. Going back to row number 4, on the inside of the row 4 is Bailey Patterson in the on the inside there, and on the outside the 21 of Stephen Taylor. 77M Ben Matthews will start from grid number 9 with Zach Sokol in the 47A from 10. From grid 11 is the 19C of Jamie Duff, and on the outside is Matt Honeywell in the 64 car. Bailey Patterson, congratulations Bailey, probably won't hear us, but got engaged today to his lovely partner Liv, so there we go. Another race car drive with lots to celebrate, not only on the speedway but away from it as well.
Well, that first race was pretty spectacular here earlier on, and the sprint cars providing some high octane action here at Ruapuna Speedway. 3 New Zealand champions in this field, AJ. And of course, that is Jonathan Allard, Jamie Duff, and Joel Myers Jr. In fact, we've got 4. Jamie Larson over there in the 82 car as well. So certainly you've got to be good to drive a sprint car around Rjptv Speedway. We talked about it earlier tonight. The Duff man has returned to form unbelievably fast in that 19C car last night. The Alley Art Castings Limited sponsored sprint car. But it was Connor Rangi that took out the feature last night in an epic race, which seen both those drivers going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, Dylan Forsey, big opportunity for Forsey last night. Made some moves late in the feature race last night after having to start near the back of that. And a very talented kid. Second season of sprint cars, and 2 years in a row he has finished 3rd in the Hydrolink War of the Wings. And that series, boy, it was a battleground this season long. Very, very competitive. And Dylan Forsey starting on the inside, his very good mate Joel Myers Jr. on the outside of the front row. Dylan actually went up to the States last year and crewed with Dylan for a while, and that has sort of been repaid this year because Dylan's been helping the Forsies out with setup and ideas and so on. So, you know, when you've got a couple of young guys that are able to bounce off each other, how good is that?
Well, we've heard about Joel Myers Jr. coming over here just when he was 16 years old, and he's a real worker, this boy. Puts all the setups in, does 50 hours a week of preparation on that car just to get it out here on Saturday nights and race it. And these boys have had the rewards given to them. It was Joel Myers Jr. and Max Guilford taking on the New Zealand Championship just recently. Max taking out the first place, and obviously Joel taking out 3rd. A pretty interesting final if anyone's seen it. Max Guilford 2 laps from the end in the feature race to win the New Zealand title. Spun his car up, managed to keep it going, put another pass on Daniel Thomas, who got in front of him, and won the race with half a lap to go. A spectacular way to win your New Zealand Championship title, and Max now enjoying the spoils of going overseas.
Here we go, heat race number 2, Avon Insurance. Salute to Goody Sprint Cars. Very sedate pace, but boy, it's going to pick up. They're clean, they're green. Here we go with the second heat race of the night. Joel Myers, a big launch into turn number 1. Got his nose firmly in front. Oh, Zach Sokol, boy, he's made up some very quick ground. Running the high line too is young Sokol, but Joel Myers Jr., he's got the bit between the teeth, really cranking it up, chasing the dirt up high. Dylan Forsey in second, Gus Dawson in third, Jonathan Allard hard on the tail of Dawson. Oh boy, little bit of contact there, and we got Dawson went round, and Zach Sokol caught the tail end of that. There was just a little bit of contact between Allard and Dawson that seemed to unsettle things, and over she went.
Well, what a moment that was, folks. We all watched it, didn't we? Jonathan Allard come on the inside of Gus Dawson. Gus not prepared to move over until he really had to. And then, of course, Gus Dawson's instincts to keep his foot up it, and he got that car lifting its front wheel, ultimately doing a flip, and he got clipped by Zach Sokol. So a spectacular start to this heat of the Salute to Goody tonight.
Yes, Stephen Taylor very lucky not to get caught up in that one as well. Boy, she was all high drama stuff. In fact, Gene Spooner nearly caught Sokol on the way around. Was it Sokol that he nearly clipped him on the way around too? So yeah, close encounters of the dirt kind out there.
And as we know, folks, it really happens quickly here at Rjptv Speedway. Zach Sokol just being tipped up there. Very, very unlucky there. He had nowhere to go. His car was full throttle going into the corner, and he come across Gus Dawson's car pulling wheel stands going the wrong way. So a difficult moment for both drivers. Just watching a replay here, and Zach Sokol just taken out without really even knowing what happened.
Yeah, it just all happens in an absolute heartbeat, doesn't it? So Joel Myers Jr. laying it down right from the get-go. First lap was a 13.595. He really cranked the car into turn number 1. Forsey doing his level best to keep up. Jonathan Allard, he'll be looking for a much cleaner run tonight. Just seemed to get bogged down a little. He's lightning fast though, isn't he, J.A., in that Dalton's car? And we're just so lucky to have a driver of this talent, not only in New Zealand, but regularly coming down and putting on a whale of a performance in the Dalton's number 4.
Just looking at Zach Sokol and Gus Dawson returning to the bunker. On the infield, they're just discussing what happened there, and you can almost tell by the body language, just a racing incident. So not too many hard feelings between those two drivers at the moment. Devastating result for the cars, of course, and that's what a 900 horsepower sprint car can do. When you bury that throttle, it'll pull the front up quicker than anything. And it was Zach that just got cleaned up by the aftermath of Gus Dawson's car going towards the infield.
Yeah, racetrack's got a good amount of moisture in it as well. When you walk across it, you can feel it. What I'm picking is that come sprint car feature time, they're going to be right up by the concrete wall, chasing the dirt up there. Of course, the weather conditions today, it was pretty much overcast all day long with none of that really bright sunshine, just making things that little bit harder. Here we go. About to go for the green flag restart of heat race number 2. All stacks on the mill at the back. A lot of contact between the back marker cars. Picking up where he left off. It's Joel Myers Jr. leading the way. Dylan Forsey in second. Jonathan Allard looking for the way past the young Christchurch driver. And then in fourth it's Stephen Taylor, the wild Wellingtonian, sitting there in the orange and yellow 21 car. The 82 of Larson sitting there in the 5th spot. And then we've got Gene Spooner running the wheels off the 35 car. But certainly you've got to say that Joel Myers Jr. doing his level best to make up for any lost momentum from last night. Very quick time. So far he nailed a 13.180 on lap number 3, and he is cleaning the floor with the field right now. Heat race number 2, sprint car action. 5 laps down, 5 to go. Dylan Forsey running solidly in second spot. Allard not making up much ground with Taylor and Larson next best. Bailey Patterson loops a loop. That's going to bring the yellow on. And it will rack and stack them for a 4-lap restart.
Whoa, Stephen Taylor pulling the wheelies down the back straight, but Bailey Patterson getting it all wrong there in turns 1 and 2, and just looping the loop, as AJ pointed out. He reacted quickly enough to stop that car because there was a moment where he could have collected another car. But what a statement by Joel Myers Jr. 13.18 seconds lap time in a heat race here at the racecourse, at the Ruapuna Speedway. And what a great drive that is by Joel Myers Jr. We remember last night he broke some running gear in the back of that car, still managed to get third in the feature race. And he's certainly out to prove something here tonight, AJ.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that the parts that he was missing, or that he either missing or badly damaged, are very key to the handling of a sprint car. And for him to do that, man, it shows the absolute talent. And we've just been so lucky that Daniel Anderson Racing have kept that relationship up with Joel, and he comes down here and runs the New Zealand summer. Of course, not much racing going on up in the USA, and around sort of November, December, January sort of thing. There is an event called the Chili Bowl, which is an indoor midget track, which is in January, but there's also a little bit of indoor dirt kart stuff that goes on around Washington and Northern California that if Joel so desired he could do. I know Tanner Holmes, he's one of the big names from California. He keeps himself race fit, but no, Joel comes down to good old New Zealand, and boy, what an injection in the arm of New Zealand sprint car racing that he has been, and more so the input from Daniel Anderson Racing, cobbering up Joel and Max Guilford this season long. Myers pulls the trigger. 4 laps to go. Ben Matthews, he was stuck in the traffic at the back of the field, as was Jamie Duff. They're just starting to unshackle the beast and get right up into the moving stuff. Here's a big battle going on for second and third between Forsey and Allard. Allard had to pull out of that one, lost a little bit of ground too. It's Joel Myers Jr., Dylan Forsey and Jonathan Allard. Oh, the Duff man's gone around. Hero first last night and a bit of a zero this time round as he's right at the back of the tail. Joel Myers Jr. just steaming away from them. Forsey hanging on to that second spot. Allard just cannot make any impression on him. Spooner and Patterson, they get together just as the white flag came out. Boy, this is going to be a shootout of biblical proportions as we end heat race number 2.
Well, I tell you what, the drama's starting to play out in the sprint car race tonight. It was Jamie Duff gets himself all tangled up on the infield. He will get a couple of laps to see if he can make some placings. But Gene Spooner run out of setup in that car, the car going virtually sideways into that corner, and Bailey Patterson with nowhere to go just touched each other and got both cars spun around.
Yeah, just keep an eye on Jamie Larson too. He is running some very tidy laps. This is going to absolutely help his cause. He'll be restarting from 5th in the last couple of lap shootout. You just wonder when the racetrack starts getting really wide and Larson has that opportunity to run by the fence. Very few sprint car drivers have done it quite as effectively as Jamie Larson does. And he's done it for a good number of years down here in that Capity Cars machine. Running for Mark Alexander from the Hawke's Bay area. And these guys, they just make it an annual pilgrimage down here to the Mecca of speed in Christchurch, which is Ruapuna Speedway. Spooner gets a restart, Patterson gets a restart.
Well, folks, spare a thought for Dylan Forsey, the young sprint car driver. He's got Joel Myers Jr., a ex-New Zealand champion, in front of him, as well as Jonathan Allard behind him, both New Zealand champions. And young Dylan Forsey putting on a pretty good performance here. Second quickest lap time, 13.6, with Joel Myers having the lap time of this race, 13.18 seconds.
Yeah, let's see if anyone's napping, because it's Myers that can pull the trigger. He does it right now. This could be the dance of the desperate a little bit further back in the field. Dylan Forsey running with the high line. Oh, he gets up on 2 wheels. This is going to get gnarly and nasty. Oh, boy. Gee.
Commentators curse there, AJ, just as we seen the young fella performing beautifully. He got that car into a position no sprint car driver ever wants to be in, with a full field of sprinters coming at you at full throttle. And it was Taylor that got cleaned up there for a moment. It wasn't quite as bad as it could have been, folks. We were all holding our breath. But Dylan Forsey, that'll wreck his race here, as well as Stephen Taylor's.
Yes, Stephen Taylor was absolutely looking for a run down the inside as well, and he was left with absolutely no time to react on that one. Jamie Duff also caught up in it. But for all money, it appears as though Forsey just sort of got up on the outside wheels, and that's all she wrote. Stephen Taylor, boy, that car stopped on a dime on the impact. Jamie Duff, probably not too much impact there on Duff. But Stephen Taylor may be the unfortunate victim of that one.
Yeah, so Forsey will get a restart. Duffman will get a restart also. We can see what the Duffman's doing. He's trying to secure a couple of placings with a big, wide pass going into 1 and 2. And he's certainly capable of it. He knows Ruapuna like the back of his hand. This is really shaking them up again, AJ. Look, with Myers Jr. in front. Jonathan Allard has made his way into second. He'll fancy a wee look at Myers. These guys have got a wee bit of history together. They do help each other out, but I know Jonathan really wants to get one over Joel Myers Jr. for sure.
Yeah, he sure does. And, you know, Jonathan Allard's certainly the wily old fox of this field. Just such a great competitor. And over there by the track shack, there's they've got the Allard Motorsport merch over there. Go and have a look at that. You know, sometimes the proceeds from the T-shirt sales puts the breakfast on the table for the crew the next morning. Also, nothing quite like showing your colours, is there? There we go, Jamie Larson up into third spot.
Okay, Myers Jr. waving to the infield. Something not exactly right there. We'll find out more in a moment.
Maybe it's something on the racetrack. There we go. Not NASCAR debris, which is an imaginary thing.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Oh. Hot potato, hot potato.
Good on you, Lenny. We'll check those hands out later on, mate. But a bit of metal off a sprint car somewhere, and that's cleared its way. Joel Myers Jr. doing his best to get some of that deep debris removed. So here we go, folks. Jonathan Allard sitting in wait. Be difficult. Myers Jr. will get the jump. But let's see how it all plays out.
Yeah, let's see if Jonathan Allard can suck him into something. Here we go, green flag flies. The book of tricks that Jonathan Allard has got is deep and extensive, but Joel Myers Jr., no answer for him right now as Ben Matthews' car grinding to a halt, about to retire to the infield. So it's Myers leading the charge of the sprint car brigade. The four of Jonathan Allard sitting there in second spot. Then we go back into third to the 82 of Jamie Larson. Bailey Patterson sitting there in fourth. Boy, he's had a miracle recovery. Jamie Duff applying some real heat onto the tail of Patterson. Here we go, checkered flag flies. Myers takes the win. Jonathan Allard second, Jamie Larson third. Patterson hung on well to grab the next spot. Well, you couldn't script that one, could you?
Yeah, plenty of place changes going in behind Joel Myers Jr., but he was pretty dominant in that. We already said he got the lap time there of 13.18 seconds, and it was Dylan Forsey that got the second best time. But of course, Forsey took himself out and ended up at the back of the field. The Duff man made a few places late. Remember, he did draw the very last marble in that race, and he ended up in 6th position, so he's certainly making his way forward for sure. But taking out this heat race of the salute to Goody was Joel Myers Jr.
One of the quarter midgets, 73 to Kayla Rogers Green off grid 3, 22 Miller Johnson off 4, 98 Jack Reed off 5, 96 Libby Reed off 6, 35 Caden Simmons will go from grid 7, 62 Brody Morris from 8, 54 Jackson Clark from 9, 12 Jackson Kedsley from 10, 38 Georgia Lewis from 11, and 7 Ryan Gallagher from grid 12.
Looks a wee bit like a staggered handicap.
Yes.
2 out there at the moment, Warwick.
Yep, they've got those faster ones there at the back, getting some of these younger ones a bit more of a chance at the front. So that's it. They've let them go. And we'll see how these youngsters get on when they get a chance to get out in some fresh air. So it's 22 Miller Johnson who leads them down the Duckman to Nag back straight from 73 Dakota Rogers Green. Caden Simmons looking for a run on the inside. Libby Reed's just outside there. Felix Mitchell, Jack Reed on the 98 sitting there as well. 54 Jackson Clark's the first one to push in there and start to show his way, with the 11 of Blake Stillwell just drops back a wee bit. But it's Miller Johnson out in front of the moment. Oh, there's one of them spun themselves around there, just got a wee touch on one of the cars as they were coming through. And that's a young Felix Mitchell. That'll bring out a yellow.
Oh, that's a great shame. It was shaping up to be a good race there.
Yep. So to Miller Johnson, certainly had the legs on the rest of those front runners in that early stage. Now some of these older kids are just dropping back a wee bit again. So they're going to let Blake Stillwell just head up.
Always tricky with the kids with their different growth spurts.
Yep.
Over the years, the size of the cars, they seem to get smaller and larger.
Yes, one or two of them will be, this will be their last run this year, a couple of them. If you want to get into quarter midget racing, this little car here is for sale. I think they've upgraded their package for next season, or attempting to, and that 99 car, yeah, good beginner's car, is on the market.
Yeah, sometimes it's not a good idea to buy all the best equipment straight away, because if you can't get the best out of it, well, then it's pretty much you're better off with a second-hand chassis, really, aren't you?
Not sure what happened there. The drivers all have race receivers, so I imagine something's been said to them.
Start there from Jackson Clark.
Again, jumping out again. Well, I think eventually he'll get pinged. Have to stop that.
Oh, big move there from Ryan Gallagher. Passed about 3 or 4 cars in one move. That's the Stadium Finance car, number 7, back there in 4th. Oh, Caden Simmons just retakes the lead momentarily over Jackson Clark. Jackson Kedsley up there in 3rd place, but under pressure from Ryan Gallagher, the Stadium Finance car. Then back to Georgia Lewis.
Yes, Jack Reed and Miller Johnson having a good run there in behind Georgia. Enjoying this track here at Ellesmere today. Then we go back to the young man from Nelson, Blake Stillwell in the 11, Dakota Rogers Green and Felix Mitchell. Libby Reed just ahead of them as they come on round. As they move in, the white flag comes out for Jackson Clark. Caden Simmons still close in that 2nd position.
Well, into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Big dive there from Caden Simmons, comes up the inside of Jackson Clark, and he's going to get there just from Jackson Clark. Then we go back to Ryan Gallagher, car number 7, followed by Jackson Kedsley in 4th, 5th place to Georgia Lewis. Then we go back to Jack Reed in 98. He'll be followed through by Miller Johnson, car 22. Then the 96 of Libby Reed. She'll be followed through by the 11 of Stillwell.
Yeah, Blake Stillwell.
Blake Stillwell from Nelson. And further back to the 99 of Felix Mitchell. And looks like 73. Dakota Rogers Green, car number 73, I think might have been at the tail there, Warwick.
Yep, well, there's your 3 of that one. Good win there to the 35. Caden Simmons from the 54 of Jackson Clark. Not sure about the start. 7. Ryan Gallagher, home in 3rd.
Well, that was the last corner pass from Caden Simmons. Who
Harley Biddle in the white will go from gate 3. Gate 2 in the blue will be 34, Aaron Rose and Nigel Sturgeon. And on the outside in gate 4, it'll be 16, Carl Foster and Alan Clarkson. So just confirm that. Just one goes through or two go through?
One.
Just one to the final. So we've got the 3 top ones in the final. 2 top ones in the final.
Yep.
And 1 from each semi.
Yep.
Right. I should look at the program, but often it's so wrong. I don't bother. That's not good, is it? So Taylor Green, Calaminis on gate 1. Just the one goes through. This is tough. 34, Aaron Rose and Sturge. In the blue on gate 2. 44, James Douglas, Harley Biddle in the white on gate 3, and 16, Carl Foster and Michael Twos in the yellow on gate 4. One go through, and off they go.
Holy moly.
Well, yeah, Carl Foster got that one all wrong. And that's really thumped 44, James Douglas and Harley Biddle out of contention there pretty early on.
She was full on.
Yes, from the outside, it's gone right through across to gate 2 with an imagine of, 10 metres. We'll see what the referee's decision will be there.
Put him back in.
Oh, I'm picking. Don't know. I'm not sure.
We haven't had the look yet.